In Tasmania, few animal footprints are as large as the tigers.
Does it continue on up there?
Can't see anything through here.
Looks like the ground dries out a bit more up there.
Well, the creek goes through, but not the footprints.
The two footprints are photographed and measured. The team will analyze them further to determine if they are evidence of the elusive tiger.
We won't be able to know for certain what we've got until we can take them back, put them on a computer screen and compare them side by side.
Let's go.
Monster Quest is on the island of Tasmania, 150 miles off Australia's Pacific coast. Chris Rehberg is leading an expedition in search of the Tasmanian tiger. It was the largest predator to have roamed this area and has been presumed extinct for decades.
Around 80 years ago, they could be found anywhere around here.
Carl Bailey, an experienced tracker, is determined to prove that the Tasmanian tiger still lives.
Tree ferns make an excellent hiding place because of all the dead foliage. This is the forest of the Upper Florentine Valley in Tasmania, and this is the area where the last tiger was caught in 1933.
And this is also the area where Bailey says he crossed the path of the tiger.
He'll have his eyes on you, but you'll never see him. And this has always been the way with the tiger. I was 15 miles from here in the southwest. Early one morning when I smelt what was unmistakable as the tiger's smell. It had a very unmistakable, strong, pungent odour. It's a strange feeling. There's nothing making any noise in the bush. It's deathly quiet. But you feel that there's eyes upon you. You feel like something's watching you. And you can't work it out what.
People believe the Tasmanian tigers were nocturnal hunters that retreated into their dens during the day.
And so I searched the area for the animal for about an hour, and the smell wafted away, disappeared into the air. And I knew then that whatever made that smell had gone.
Carl Bailey has been collecting evidence of Tasmanian tigers for 40 years, and he is starting to detect a pattern.
When the tiger killed an animal, it always brought it down from the neck and the head. And it has been known to eat the nasal areas, eat around the nasal areas.
These photographs of dead sheep show the tiger's supposed killing method.
Some said it was a dog, but when a dog kills a sheep, it's messy. There's fur everywhere and blood everywhere. But when a tiger would kill a sheep, it would be a very neat kill.
Bailey also believes he has photographic evidence of the tiger's survival.
This photo here particularly was taken by German tourist Klaus Emmerichs in 2005 when he came to Tasmania to do some bushwalking and by chance happened to snap this animal in the northwest of the state.
The publication of this photo caused a huge sensation. Nick Mooney, a wildlife biologist, remains unconvinced. The historical records show a complete collapse in the Tasmanian tiger population after the bounty was placed on their heads.
No more were caught through the 1930s, the years of the Depression, the Great Depression, when people went back to the bush. There were millions of snares set in all the old places that caught Tasmanian tigers, and nobody caught one. So that's like a huge search was carried out, and nobody found any.
But there have been more than 350 reports recorded since that time.
You never forget the sighting of an animal that is supposed to be extinct.
Buck Emberg and his wife Joan were coming home one night when they came across an extraordinary sight.
It had just rained not too long before that, so everything was shiny. And we came not too far from where we lived. We came around a corner and there it was. I had to jam on the brakes hard and I didn't quite know what to do. There were two animals. It was obvious that they were two thylacines, or Tasmanian tigers.
The mother, followed closely by her baby, crossed the road in the headlights of their car and then quickly vanished into the darkness.
So Joan and I stopped for 15, 20 seconds, burning in our mind what we saw. I said, okay, what did you see? She said, I saw two thylacines. There can be no question. It could be nothing else.
The Monster Quest expedition team is now deep in the midst of the Tasmanian rainforest.
Hey, wait. Did you hear that? Just listen. Listen.
No recording of a Tasmanian tiger vocalization exists. Witness reports suggest they emit whistles and whines, and others say growls and hisses. The most common description is a yapping, described as similar to a terrier.
The Tasmanian tiger was reported to have a kind of a yip, yip, yip sound, or a yap, yap, yap kind of sound. What do you reckon?
It sounded like it was coming from just over there. I can't see anything.
This way? Over there.
Keep going up there, we'll see what we can find.
The animal calls lead the expedition team to believe they are getting closer to finding evidence, and they prepare for nocturnal observation, hoping to catch the tiger hunting. They plan to survey another site where the robotic hunting lure is set up.
Just need to check this audio lure. Yep, that sounds good. Yep, it's back up.
The team camouflages itself to observe the location.
It's a very windy, rainy night. It's very hard to distinguish what's what.
Nelson shifts to the thermal vision camera to pick up heat signatures.
There. Spotlight it. Bit of heat coming off something over there.
Monster Quest is searching a remote Australian island for evidence of a terrifying beast thought to be long extinct. 750 miles north, in Sydney, Australia, a renowned paleontologist believes that through cloning he can bring the fabled creature back from extinction.
Of course, Tasmanians, and for that matter the rest of the world, are reluctant to let go of a creature that had slipped so gracelessly into mythology, vanished off the face of the planet.
Professor Michael Archer thinks humans are responsible for the tiger's extinction.
In a sense, whether we shot it to death or we simply crowded it out of Tasmania, or a combination of all of those things, this is something we did. And hence I feel we have a moral obligation to think about, is there a possibility that we could undo this horrific ecological disaster?
He's eager to right the wrong.
One of the important tools that may take us from now and into the future and create a miracle is a molecule called DNA.
In 1999, Archer joined a team of genetic experts in an attempt to clone the tiger. The raw material was found in 100-year-old tiger embryos.
And when you go down into the bowels of the museums, it's a mystical experience to sort of turn on the lights and see all these little faces staring at you out of the jars with their hands pressed up against the jar.